The Radius protocol is a cornerstone of network security. It provides centralized authentication, authorization, and accounting management for users connecting to a network. Imagine a secure gatekeeper, verifying the credentials of every user before granting them access to valuable resources. That's Radius in a nutshell. When a user attempts to connect to a network, their device sends login credentials to a Radius server. This server then verifies the credentials against its database and grants or denies access based on predefined policies. This process ensures that only authorized users can access sensitive network resources. The importance of Radius in today's interconnected world cannot be overstated. With the proliferation of devices and the increasing sophistication of cyber attacks, securing network access is paramount. Radius provides a robust framework for managing access control, ensuring that only authorized users can access sensitive data and applications. Its widespread adoption across industries, from finance and healthcare to education and government, underscores its critical role in maintaining network security. However, even the most robust security protocols can have vulnerabilities. The discovery of the blast radius vulnerability serves as a stark reminder that constant vigilance and proactive security measures are essential in today's ever-evolving threat landscape. In the ever-evolving landscape of cybersecurity, new threats emerge with alarming regularity. One such threat is the recently discovered blast radius vulnerability, identified as CVE 2024-3596. This critical vulnerability affects the widely used Radius protocol, potentially jeopardizing the security of countless networks worldwide. The vulnerability centers on the use of the MD5 hashing algorithm for authentication within the Radius protocol. Attackers can exploit this weakness to forge Radius responses, essentially impersonating legitimate users and gaining unauthorized access to sensitive network resources. The implications of this vulnerability are far-reaching. Successful exploitation could grant attackers access to confidential data, allow them to spread malware laterally across the network, and even disrupt critical services. The discovery of blast radius underscores the importance of robust security practices and the need for organizations to remain vigilant in the face of evolving threats. The potential consequences of this vulnerability are significant. Unauthorized access could lead to data breaches, financial losses, and reputational damage. Furthermore, attackers could leverage their access to compromised networks to launch further attacks against other organizations. The widespread use of Radius across industries amplifies the potential impact of this vulnerability. Organizations of all sizes, from small businesses to large enterprises, rely on Radius for secure network access. The vulnerability's ability to bypass traditional security measures makes it particularly dangerous. Organizations must act swiftly to mitigate the risks posed by blast radius. Failure to do so could have severe consequences for their security posture and their overall business operations. The blast radius vulnerability has sent shockwaves through the cybersecurity community, particularly impacting users of Cisco products. Cisco, a leading provider of networking solutions, has acknowledged that several of its products are vulnerable to this exploit. The affected products span a wide range of Cisco's offerings, including SD-WAN vManage, Identity Services Engine, and wireless LAN controllers. These products are integral components of many enterprise networks, highlighting the widespread nature of the vulnerability. SD-WAN vManage, for instance, plays a crucial role in managing and securing software-defined wide-area networks. A compromise of this product could grant attackers significant control over an organization's network traffic, potentially leading to data interception, manipulation, or disruption. Similarly, Identity Services Engine is a critical component of many organizations' network access control strategies. Exploitation of this vulnerability could allow attackers to bypass authentication mechanisms, gaining unauthorized access to sensitive resources and data. Wireless LAN controllers are another critical component of many enterprise networks, responsible for managing and securing wireless access points. A compromise of these devices could expose an organization's wireless network to a range of attacks, including data theft, eavesdropping, and denial of service attacks. The widespread use of these Cisco products across industries underscores the potential severity of the blast radius vulnerability. Organizations must take immediate action to mitigate the risks posed by this vulnerability to protect their networks and data from potential attacks. Section 4, Cisco's Mitigation Recommendations, a lifeline for network security. In response to the blast radius vulnerability, Cisco has released a set of mitigation recommendations to help organizations protect their networks. These recommendations provide a roadmap for mitigating the risks associated with this critical vulnerability. One of the key recommendations is to disable MD5 authentication where possible. MD5, once considered a secure hashing algorithm, has known weaknesses that can be exploited by attackers. Cisco advises organizations to transition to more secure authentication methods, such as EAP-TLS or EAP-TTLs, which offer stronger protection against brute force and dictionary attacks. Implementing strong passwords and multi-factor authentication is another crucial step in mitigating the risks posed by blast radius. Strong passwords, characterized by their length, complexity, and randomness, are essential for preventing unauthorized access. Multi-factor authentication adds an extra layer of security by requiring users to provide multiple forms of identification, such as a password and a one-time code sent to their mobile device. This makes it significantly more difficult for attackers to gain unauthorized access, even if they have compromised one of the authentication factors. Cisco also emphasizes the importance of keeping all affected products updated with the latest security patches. Software updates often include security enhancements and bug fixes that address known vulnerabilities. By promptly applying these updates, organizations can significantly reduce their attack surface and mitigate the risks associated with exploits like blast radius. Section 5. The importance of strong passwords and multi-factor authentication. In today's digital landscape, where data breaches and cyber attacks are rampant, strong passwords and multi-factor authentication are no longer optional security measures, but essential safeguards. Strong passwords, characterized by their length, complexity, and randomness, act as the first line of defense against unauthorized access. Gone are the days of simple, easily guessable passwords like password 123. Instead, users are encouraged to create passwords that are at least 12 characters long, include a mix of uppercase and lowercase letters, numbers, and symbols, and are not based on personal information that can be easily guessed. Multi-factor authentication, on the other hand, adds an extra layer of security by requiring users to provide multiple forms of identification before granting access. This typically involves something the user knows, like a password, something the user has, like a security token or smartphone, or something the user is, like a fingerprint or facial scan. By implementing multi-factor authentication, organizations can significantly reduce the risk of unauthorized access, even if an attacker has compromised a user's password. The combination of strong passwords and multi-factor authentication creates a formidable barrier against unauthorized access, making it significantly more difficult for attackers to breach security measures and gain access to sensitive data and systems. Section 6. Disabling MD5. Authentication, severing the weak link. The blast radius vulnerability highlights a critical weakness in the radius protocol: the use of the MD5 hashing algorithm for authentication. MD5, once considered a secure hashing algorithm, has known vulnerabilities that make it susceptible to attacks. As a result, Cisco strongly recommends disabling MD5 authentication where possible to mitigate the risks associated with this vulnerability. Disabling MD5 authentication involves configuring radius servers and clients to use more secure authentication methods, such as EAP-TLS or EAP-TTLs. EAP-TLS, or Extensible Authentication Protocol, Transport Layer Security, provides a high level of security by using digital certificates to authenticate both the server and the client. This ensures that the communication between the two parties is encrypted and protected from eavesdropping or tampering. EAP-TTLs, or Extensible Authentication Protocol, Tunneled Transport Layer Security, on the other hand, only requires a server-side certificate, making it easier to deploy than EAP-TLS. By transitioning to these more robust authentication methods, organizations can significantly enhance the security of their radius infrastructure and mitigate the risks posed by vulnerabilities like blast radius.